In this episode, we're exploring why keyword tools are lying to you. If you're using a keyword tool in an attempt to grow on YouTube, chances are you're being misled. Most tools are designed for one strategy, but they disguise it as something else. In this episode, I'm exposing what they're not telling you and why it matters if you want to generate leads, not just likes. Let's dive right in. The first two tools that I want to talk about that are built exclusively for YouTube, that's TubeBuddy and vidIQ. Now, there are differences between these two softwares, but for all intents and purposes of this episode, I'm going to treat them as if they're the same. They are very, very similar. If your focus is suggested traffic, you want to go viral, you want to get as many views as possible, and your focus is ad revenue, these tools are actually built for you, and you'll want to determine which tool should I use, TubeBuddy or vidIQ. Also, there's aspects of these tools that I want you to ignore, and that's the tools focused on keywords and on search traffic. That's my expertise, that's my specialty. I produce over 60 different YouTube channels, and each of them have hundreds of topics they are ranking at the top of YouTube for. In case this is your first introduction to me, let me just show you a few of those examples really quick. And I'm just gonna fly through these. If you type in how to get business credit with poor personal credit, you find Noel Randall ranking at the top. If you type in that question, you'll find Brent Bowers. If you type in that question, you'll find Stan the Annuity Man at the top. That question brings up Doug Andrew. That question brings up Jason Schroeder. That question brings up Michelle Villalobos. That question brings up Jason Hewlett. That question brings up Ted Thomas. That question brings up Laurel Langmeyer. That question brings up Dr. Carrie Ann Perkins. This question brings up Jay Townsend. This question brings up Chad Littlefield. This question brings up Paul Jenkins and Nicolene Peck. All of these are my clients. So let's go behind the scenes. I'm signed into the Nicolene Peck YouTube channel. She's a parenting expert. And over on the side here, I'll click on the TubeBuddy bar to bring up all the different things here. And the things that are misleading is they have this Keyword Explorer and this SEO Studio. These tools are misleading because they make you think that, ooh, I can explore keywords, I can find keywords, and I can help my videos rank higher in search. Or SEO Studio, and watch what happens when I click on it. It says enter your target keyword. So in Nicolene's case, so I'm gonna type in get kids stop, as if what things can we teach our kids to stop doing? Right, but this does nothing. This is the SEO Studio, and it gives me this SEO score, which is telling me, okay, I have a 62%. I typed in 3 words and I'm 62% of the way there. What does that mean? What if I type in for parents? I mean, what does that do? Does it change my score? Oh, wow. All of a sudden I'm up to a score of 86%. I'm telling you, do not use this feature of this tool. They have a checklist here of basically the only reason I don't have 100% is because I didn't follow this thing. Include partial matches of your target keyword in the description. So, okay, what is that? Get kids to stop doing bad stuff for parents looking to be better parents and help their kids stop breaking rules. Oh wow, I'm up to 95%. So I promise you this video will not rank at the top of YouTube because of whatever I'm doing here. Let me show you another specific example. So in the YouTube search bar, if I type in how to discipline a child that lies and steals, one of Nicolene's videos is ranking right here at the top. This video posted 7 days ago. It's already had 800 views, and vidIQ is saying that we have a score of 32 out of 100. Okay, what does that even mean? Like, I'm ranking at the top of YouTube. So do I have a bad score, or what's it saying? Or if I log into the YouTube Creator Studio and I have the TubeBuddy plugin turned on, and it says that this video ranking #1 on YouTube has an SEO score of 50%. So this 50% is meaningless because it's just their checklist of things, and those checklist of things actually have nothing to do with SEO ranking. I want you to know what really matters and what tools are really going to help you. Now, I recently created an account with AHRefs. Now, this software is quite in depth, but I want to show you like CPC of 4 cents. A lot of these tools are focused on paid ads or doing paid ad campaigns where you're going to put your ads in front of an audience. And so the keywords that they're focusing on are what are the most valuable keywords for a paid ad campaign. I want to make a comparison that search and paid ads are drastically different. The type of keywords you want to focus on for paid campaigns are for keywords that have buyer intent. Versus for organic, you want information seekers, especially if your business sells information, like if you're a coach or a consultant, or if you're a course creator or some type of trainer or public speaker. What you sell is information, your expertise, right? So in the paid ad world, you'd ignore the information seekers, but in the organic world, you want to focus on that because that becomes a massive lead generator and relationship builder for your business. So are there tools that focus on search, not paid ads or not going viral on YouTube, but are there tools that focus on ranking at the top of YouTube search? This tool is decent. You've got to learn your way around it. It's not as user-friendly. There's another one that people always ask about. It's Answer the Public. I signed up for this service too, just for this video. If I type in "Get Kids Stop," let's just see what questions we can find. All right, it says that there's 2 questions. What are they? How to get kids to stop chewing gum and how to get kids to stop biting nails. It's pretty interesting that there's only 2. I'm actually pretty surprised by that. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to show you the tool that I love. The website is called SEMrush. Now they have a lot of different tools, whether you want to focus on local or more trending type topics. The only tool that I consistently use is on this SEO tab, and it's right here, the keyword magic tool. I'm going to type in the same thing here, "Get Kids Stop," and then you're going to see why I like this. Okay, and it gives me a couple variations. When do kids stop getting sick all the time or stop getting ear infections? Those could be topics for episodes on a parenting channel. But I like the how-tos especially. How to get a kid to stop coughing or to stop whining or to stop fighting. This one's pretty similar, so I'd only check one of those. I don't need to check 2 of the same question. There's another coughing one. There's another fighting one. How to get a kid to stop picking their nose or grinding their teeth or to stop hitting. We got a whining again. How to get your kid to stop vaping, or how to stop grinding teeth at night, or how to stop lying. Let me explain the value of what we're looking at on the screen here. So my client, Nicolene Peck, she's a parenting expert, and there are so many questions that her target audience is asking, and they don't know who Nicolene Peck is. But if Nicolene makes videos answering each one of these questions, then these interested people will find her videos and they will see her as the expert. And from Nicolene's perspective, there's just a limitless supply of topics that she can talk about. Now, the more of these topics on the Get Kids to Stop, I call it branch, but we'll just say category, the more of the topics that she covers, the more likely she dominates the entire category of getting kids to stop blank, getting kids to stop something. What's also really valuable about this tool is this number over here. This is the monthly average search volume. Now, I recommend starting with those that have a lower search volume first, like 10 searches a month. Those are going to be the ones that take the least amount of time for you to rank at the top of YouTube, meaning you film a video on how to get a kid to stop grinding their teeth. You post that video to YouTube. You want that video to rank that day or the next day. I want to show you an example in a complete different industry. So I'm going to come up here. I've got another client that teaches people about tax lien. So let's type in tax lien property. This is a real estate investing topic. All right. And I'm going to turn on the questions button. I do that all the time. I love that button. And I'm going to turn my word count filter to 8. And I love this. So you can make sure that you're looking for questions that have at least 8 words. That's actually a key. The more words in the question, then by default, the faster that video will rank at the top of YouTube. Part of that has to do with specificity, because notice this one. This one's how to buy a tax lien property in Georgia. This one's in Texas. This one's in North Carolina. This one's in Maryland. This one's in New York. This one's in Georgia again. So you wouldn't want to make 2 videos answering the same question about Georgia, but this one's about Alabama. This one's about California. Now, what would be the value to Sean in talking about each one of these and going state by state? Well, when people in that specific state, we'll just pick this one. We'll say how to buy a tax lien property in New York. So people that are in New York that go to Google and YouTube and they type in that question, they find Sean Higgins, they watch the video, and they learn, and now they're a fan of Sean. They appreciate the value. Same thing, if somebody from Georgia does that question, then they find Sean. Now, if we do all these specific places and we start to dominate YouTube there, then guess what happens? You can just type in the 3-word phrase, tax lien properties, and you rank at the top for that. So I'm going to show you what happens. If I come here and I just type in, this is only 5 words, but if I type in tax lien property in Georgia, we find Ted Thomas, he's a client of mine, and we find Sean Higgins, the client that I was telling you about. Now, Sean wants to rank at the top for tax lien property. Sean isn't there yet, right? there's Ted, so Ted's there, and we had to scroll down. We do find Sean, but he's not at the top. The more of these specific questions about Maryland and New York and Georgia and Alabama and California, the more of those that we can get Sean ranking at the top for, then the higher likelihood that he will dominate all of them when I just type in tax lien properties. So that's what we're working on. Let me show you a couple examples of what this eventually looks like just after a handful of months. If we type in self-government, a 2-word search, we've got Nicolene Peck ranking at the top. Or if we type in discipline teenager, we've got Nicolene Peck ranking at the top. Now notice the title of this video is a 10-word question about discipline a teenager. We posted this 3 years ago, but now she's made so many videos in that category, she ranks for a 2-word phrase. Let me show you another one. Become politician. We've got Jay Townsend ranking at the top. He's been very meticulous about following this strategy to the letter. Let's try another example for him. Run for office. Right here, right underneath the National Democratic Training Committee, we've got Jay Townsend. So right at the top of the screen, we don't have to scroll down. So the biggest problem with a lot of these tools like TubeBuddy and vidIQ or even Answer the Public is they only go halfway, or they mislead you by having features that don't really help. So there are 2 paths to success on YouTube. If you want ad revenue and viral growth, then TubeBuddy and vidIQ can really help you with that. Then why do they include their keyword tools in this SEO score? When if you want to focus on SEO and really leverage YouTube for lead generation, you need a lot more data. The SEO tools that TubeBuddy and vidIQ provide don't help at all. But that keyword magic tool over on SEMrush, let me show you again how to navigate to that. So in the menu over here, if you're at semrush.com, you click on SEO, then come here to the keyword magic tool. If you would like a 2-week free trial of this tool on SEMrush, I'm an affiliate for them because I love their tool so much. You can go to herokeywordtool.com, get access to the full tool here for 2 weeks. Again, that's herokeywordtool.com.